Good evening. We bring you the latest in the world of sports. I'm Paulo Del Rosario.
We give you the conversations you want to hear from your favorite icons and athletes. I'm Billy Capistrano. And in tonight's Game Plan, Kobe Paras and Bobby Ray Parks are taking their talents to the B.League. We'll break down the impact they can bring to their new clubs in Japan.
And let's huddle up with some former UST Golden Tigresses as they share their playing experience in the PVL and the UAAP. Buckle up, sports fans. Let's get in the game. Kobe Paras and Bobby Ray Parks Jr. share a lot more than their love of basketball. They're both second-generation hoopers who grew up with big shoes to fill inside the court. Both have shown that they can shine on the international stage with the ball in their hands. Now, the pair are the two latest Pinoy imports to join Japan's B.League. Joining us tonight to break down their impact for their new clubs is the game analyst, Coach Charles Chu. Man, I got confusing, Coach Charles Chu, but what's up, Coach Charles?
Well, hey, Billy, glad to be back on the show.
All right. All right, Charles. Okay, so first of all, we've seen how these guys have developed throughout their careers on the court. But looking at what they can actually bring the B.League right now at their point of development, what do you think will be their main strength going into this one?
Well, I think they can bring a lot, to be honest. Well, I'll start with Ray Parks. So he's going to a team that's basically going to be a contender right now. Nagoya's a pretty good team. They have a new coach. They've got a lot of talent, some good players. And I honestly think Ray probably is the top three guards that we have in the Philippines as a whole, or at least, the very least, top five, maybe. Top three shooting guards, perhaps, in the whole country. So he's that good. And Ray's a good pick-and-roll player, which is kind of how the Japanese teams like to play. So I think he will fit in very well, and he will really help his team. Kobe Paras, on the other hand, he will bring a lot of athleticism. He gives them a lot of size. Also, he's going to a team that's kind of rebuilding. They're not exactly the best team in the B.League. So I think that will give Kobe a lot of opportunities to maybe lead the team and develop his game and put up some good numbers.
Okay, before I let Billy go, this in particular, you actually gave a list of three attributes that you think the both of them have, and I'm going to let Billy list that down, and you can explain each and every one. Billy?
Okay, the first one you gave, Charles, was versatility, talent, and athleticism. Let's start with versatility.
Okay, versatility, well, both of these guys are very versatile. Kobe can play the big position, he can play the 4, he can play the 2-3 also, so he gives them flexibility if they want to go small ball with a big, he can shoot, and they have a big wing on the other hand. For Ray Parks, he can play basically the point guard spot, he can play the shooting guard spot, he can also play the small forward spot, so he gives them a lot of different looks, I guess, so that's what I meant with versatility. With athleticism, I think that's pretty much a given when you hear the name Kobe Paras with all his highlights, all his dunks. And it's actually the same with Ray Parks. Ray Parks is a pretty athletic player too. He's very physical. He's very gifted. So, both those guys will bring a lot of athleticism to the Japanese league where, not a lot of Japanese players are maybe as athletic as Kobe or Ray. So I think they'd be at least a level higher than most players in that league, and that's a fact. And lastly would be talent. Both these guys are talented. I was talking to some PBA coaches, and actually, like Coach Norman was telling me, he really feels, because he's been there, he's seen the B.League. You throw in guys like Ray and Kobe, they will be able to perform. The Japanese league, they have good players, they have national team players, but our guys are just as good. So these guys, I'm really expecting them to make a difference. They are talented. Ray is a really good player. He's improved his game. He's a solid defender. He can shoot. He can pass. He can drive, play pick and roll. That's great. With Kobe, he can also shoot. He's very good in attacking the basket, especially in transition. So I think they'll give a lot of talent to their teams.
Now, Charles, eventually, these two squads that they have, they're going to go head-to-head. Now, who do you think will have more of an impact while competing on the same floor?
That's tough, really, but going back to my point earlier, I think Ray's team is a better team right now, and they are a contender. So I think Ray fits in a bit more to the type of game that Japan wants, because they're kind of more like that European international style of basketball. So, and Ray has the tools to be that type of player, especially with the way he plays and uses the pick and roll. So I think he'll have a bit more of an impact than Kobe, simply because of that. But then again, it's tough because Kobe's he's going to a team that will probably play him a lot of minutes because again they are kind of like a rebuilding. They're a weak team, I think, and I mean that with no disrespect, I'm always just honest. But I have a coach in Japan who was just telling me he's gonna go up against Ray's team on Saturday, so I'll probably get an update on how Ray looks with Nagoya squad.
I like how you called them weak and then ran it back, and then now we don't know where you stand, Charles. But it's okay.
I'm just trying to be not disrespectful.
Yeah. No, I get that. But you know what? We have a bunch of Filipinos out there right now playing as imports in the first division in the Japan B.League, and we're going to see a lot of matchups with some of our Filipino guys going head to head. Are there any matchups in particular that you are most excited to see when the new season begins at September 30?
Well, that's easy. The two Ravenna brothers. Both guys. I mean, I'm big fans of those two brothers, and they're so competitive. I'm kind of excited to see them play against each other in that stage. It's going to be pretty big. That's why I think it's great for Japan. I don't think the two Deliani brothers will play against each other because one is in a different division, unfortunately. So it's got to be those two brothers, man, the Ravenna bros. But hey, I'll tell you this though. Let's wait for a few more bombs of maybe a few more Pinoys going to Japan soon.
Yeah, you know what? You're the guy to follow actually when it comes to that on social media. The blind items you throw out there are insane. Oh, they're not so blind, by the way. But I actually personally I'm looking forward to see 30 and Kobe go at it. I want to see who dunks on who first because I think that's going to be really interesting. But you know what? There's so many players there, and as you say, there could be more coming. At what point do you think are we in terms of the talent development with so many young guys moving forward, going to try their luck overseas?
I think it's good. Don't get me wrong. If you just look strictly at the players and the level of play, our PBA isn't too far behind. But I'd say a big difference, though, is that number one, the Japanese, you have two American imports. Well, there are 3 imports in every team, at least 4 in imports, and only 2 can play at the same time. Asian imports aren't included. So at the very least, you could easily say that each team could have 3 imports technically on the floor at the same time. So I think just because of that kind of raises the level of their league and will be a good experience for our guys. Imagine going up against imports. Although most of the players that have gone so far are guards, and most of the imports of Japan are bigs. But I mean, if you look at the players, the local players versus our local players playing in the PBI, I wouldn't say the gap is that far. In fact, we may even be ahead because we've got a lot of talent here in the Philippines. But I still think it's great for these guys to be making a living abroad, representing the country, getting that experience, traveling around Japan while playing ball. I just think it brings a whole different game to Philippine basketball. And I think it's great.
Charles, these kids are going there as I say kids because they are really young. A lot of them fresh from college, and there are some that could be making the move there soon. That could be of the same age range as well, and they're going in there as a import. And when you say an import, the expectations on them are a lot higher. And how confident are you that they have, 1, the talent for it, and 2, the mentality to be able to go onto the floor as imports and make a difference?
I think the good thing is so far the guys that they've gotten are all studs, man. I mean, I know each and every one of them will perform. I think some teams also were very specific in what they were looking. They don't expect certain guys. I mean, I'm not gonna mention names, but they don't expect certain guys to be the star of the team. Some guys they got just expecting them to be role players. So at least that takes a lot of pressure. Takes a lot of pressure off them. But at the same time, again, these guys were just as good as all the Japanese local players. So I think they'll come in there and really help the team. And I really hope they do well because by them doing well, that will open up more doors for other Filipino players to maybe get a chance to play there. And they're getting paid a lot of money, so it's good for them. But I think they'll all pretty much do well. I expect Kiefer maybe to really and Parks to excel. 30 has had the experience, so 30 will have a better year perhaps, and hopefully he stays healthy. And Juan's been telling me that his coach really likes him and has been telling him that he's going to give him the key. So you expect Juan to put up good numbers too.
All right. Charles, I really enjoy every time you come here on the game, and hope we have you here more often, and that you're not working too much, that you'll say no to us. So yeah, thank you.
Anytime, man. Pao and Billy, thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Charles.
All right, after the break, let's huddle up with some former USC Golden Tigresses as they talk about their playing experience in the PBL. Stay tuned. You're watching The Game. Welcome back to the game. I'm Paolo Del Rosario. One of the beauties of having one professional volleyball league in the country is the luxury of watching generations of stars face each other on the biggest stage. From nostalgic idols to the newest big names to players who come from the same university. We are definitely in it for the PVL ride. Now joining us tonight are former UST Golden Tigresses Jessie De Leon, Pam Lastimosa, Shannon Balek, and Jem Gutierrez. Good evening, ladies, and welcome to the game. Kamusta kayong lahat?
Good evening po.
Hello, good evening. Kamusta naman kayo? You guys are good?
Hello.
Kamusta ang pahinga from volleyball?
I like how they're all wearing yellow, by the way.
Yes.
Wearing gold rather. Oo, kasi it's not like we planned this beforehand, pero
Wala
ayun.
costume change before we
Wala naman
started.
nag-costume change before this. Oo.
Wala talaga. All right, you guys, thank you so much for being here with us today. Now, we're gonna ask you, simple questions. Babalikan lang natin yung PVL experience ninyo. Jessie, let's start with you. First off, congrats sa third place finish. Now, ano naman yung masasabi mo sa performance ng team mo? Lalong-lalo na ang fellow USC Tigress, also the best blocker na si Rhea Meneses.
Well, overall, I'm very happy that we finished bronze despite having a very short amount of period of time na mag-prepare. And about Rhea, I'm very proud na really she stepped up and sobrang layo ng maturity niya na nakita during our season compared when we were still playing in UST.
Well, Jessie, you mentioned that short preparation time, but did you feel that you played your way into shape at the end of the day? You're proud of what you showed at the end?
Yeah, I think kasi, our team, we only had like 5 weeks of preparation. So, masasabi ko na talagang we worked hard para, bumalik yung condition namin, kahit ganun lang yung time na nakapag-prepare kami. So, we were really happy kahit pa paano na nakapag-finish kami ng bronze. And also kasi, diba, most of our teammates, bago kasi sila sa Petrogas. So, syempre, it takes time to build chemistry. So, yun din yung isa sa winner hard namin para mabuo. So, yeah. Yun na yun.
And Jessie, every time we cover your games, we always say this, but you are really the spark plug off the bench for the Petrogas Angels. Ano ba yun, Pao? Quality minutes, you always give quality minutes, and I'm sure that you're so proud of your performance last conference. And now we're gonna go to Shannon naman. Now, Shannon, congrats din for your semi-final finish. At kamusta na naman ang playing experience mo and the experience, of course, of going up against the former Tigress, a legend, Micah Ortiz in the semis?
Sa akin po, the experience sa PVL bubble is very one for the talaga. Kasi kakaibang experience na experience namin, halos lahat kami ng team. And talking about kay Ate Micah, which is my idol, which is nung high school pa lang ako talaga, nakikita ko siya, nagra-running. Sabi ko, one day gusto ko din ng ganyan. Gusto ko yung ganyang klaseng running. So, sobrang, sa ibang league naman, nakita ko siya maglaro. Pero ngayon, mas humanga po ako sa kanya kasi galing po siyang injury. Which is mahirap talagang bumalik. Pero nakita ko paunti-unti and ayun nga, nag-champion pa yung team nila. So yun po.
Shannon, may favorite moment ka ba with Micah?
Every time na katapat ko po siya, is my favorite moment.
Wow.
Siyempre, nakaka-starstruck, di ba? Pag si Micah Ortiz yung kalaban mo.
Nung una na nakakatapat ko siya is, syempre medyo kinakabahan ako and kilig at the same time. Pero, na-manage ko na and okay na ako. Mas inspired na, hindi na kinakabahan at kilig. More on inspired na.
I'm sure it's not just you na kinikilig
Yeah.
pag nakikita si Micah Ortiz. Ikaw, Jem, kinikilig ka ba pag nakikita mo si Micah Ortiz?
Oo naman. Mamshi ko yun din sa Ate Mike. Siya, magkasama kami sa dorm nung college.
Yan. So, ikaw naman, ano naman yung masasabi mo sa conference mo and how is it like, ito isa pa, playing with Ging Balse-Pabayo once again?
Yeah, we're going through all of the UST
All the
alumni.
legends of USC.
Ngayon kasi yung PVL, sobrang competitive nung game na ang daming veteran, sobrang ang daming magagaling na player, ang dami din nag-step up na mga bata. Tapos si Ate Ging, sobrang nakaka-inspired siya pag nakikita mo siya na ganitong age na si Ate Ging, tapos sobrang galing pa din niyang maglaro. Parang kaya niya lahat ng position. Nagtitraining nga kami. Ang position ni Ate Ging sa training is opener. Tapos, while PBL, naging mas madalas na siyang ginagamit sa quicker. Parang kahit saan mo ilagay si Ate Ging, na-perform niya yung dapat niyang i-perform kung sabihin ni Coach. So yun, para sa akin, na-inspired ako tuwing nakagawa ni Ate Ging yung mga ginagawa niya na dapat ako din pag pinasok, mag-hustle hard din ako na makatulong ako sa team, maka-points kahit paano. Yan yung inspiration ko lahat ng mga seniors ko dito. Especially, syempre, si Ate Ging.
Of course.
Definitely, you're so lucky to be teammates with her. And now, Pam, we'll go to you. Ano naman yung masasabi mo sa performance ng team mo? And how was it like playing with Aiza, Maiso, Pontillas, and Ruby De Leon, your team captain, of course, former UST legends as well?
Yeah, siguro yung performance ng team, it was a good run. Though we fell short against Jesse's team, against Petrogas. But I'm so proud of what we achieved. And syempre, sobrang naka-inspire din na kasama ko sa team, si Ate Aiza at si Ate Ruby. Especially Ate Aiza, because I was with her during my first year in UST and she was my team captain. So sobrang inspiring na kasama ko siya and ang dami ko ding natututunan sa kanya.
And of course, there's a certain someone named Rhea de Maculangan
Of course,
who's
how can we
also...
forget?
how can we forget about that person? So, actually, Pam, I'm gonna ask you first, kamusta man yung experience, knowing that Rhea's there and facing her?
Sobrang Ate Rhea is also one of my idols. Sila actually ni Ate Aiza and Ate Rhea. Kasi di ba Maizo di Makulangan, tandem talaga yan. So, sobrang saya din na nakalaro ko ulit si Ate Rhea.
How about you, Jem?
Siyempre si Misasi, idol talaga yan. Kahit nung college nga kami, parang nakakahiya pag di mo mapalo yung set ni Ate Rhea. Tapos pag nakakalaban mo, dapat magaling ako kasi si Ate Rhea yung kalaban ko. Dapat din niya ako mablock. Kaso magaling din mag-block si Ate Rhea. Magaling pa mag-set, magaling pa mag-block.
All right, you guys, thank you so much for sharing your insights about the PVL, your PVL experiences playing against and playing with your idols. And please just stay there because when we return, it's going to be a Throwback Tuesday with our Golden Tigresses as we talk about the UAAP. Stay tuned, you're watching The Game. Welcome back to The Game. Go, Ste! Go, Ste! Go, Ste! Go, 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 go! That will always be the resounding cheer at any USC game and at any arena packed with fans wearing their signature golden yellow. With 16 UAAP women's volleyball titles in their den, it's without a doubt that the Golden Tigresses have a rich volleyball heritage. Now tonight, we'll go back down memory lane with our Tigresses, Jessie De Leon, Pam Lastimosa, Shannon Palik, and of course, Jem Gutierrez. Hello again, ladies!
Alam mo, with cheering like that, na-inspire ako to do better.
Okay ba yun,
Na-energize
guys?
ako. Oo.
Tama ba yung pag-cheer ko, guys? Baka mamaya mali na naman yung cheer ko. Was it okay? Okay naman?
Tama naman.
Mamaya tama naman. Parang labag sa loob.
Alright, sige. So, let's go first down memory lane. Of course, when we talk about UAAP, we're all gonna miss the fans, we're all gonna miss the drums, we're all gonna miss the atmosphere. Pero let's go to you first, Shannon. What do you remember the most kapag pinag-uusapan natin UAAP?
UAAP, unang-una talaga yung naisip ko and nafe-feel ko at the same time is the crowd. Yun nga, yung cheer kanina, Ghoste. And then also, ayun, parang kasi doon mo nafe-feel talaga na besides sa mga teammates mo, sa coach mo, there is that, yun nga, the seventh man na nandun sa gilid, sa paligid mo to cheer you up pag nadadown ka or what, and to be inspired pa sa paglalaro. So yun talaga yung nami-miss ko. Drums, the crowd, their cheers.
Yeah, you know, Pao and I were talking about it a while ago. Grabe yung pag-enter mo pa lang sa arena, naririnig mo yung ghosted na chant.
Yeah. We're both from Lasal, by the way. So every time
Nakakatakot.
we go into an arena na may UST crowd, there is a little fear factor there. Oh, but how about for you, Jessie? What do you think of when you think of the UAP?
Ako, same with Shannon actually, talaga yung crowd, iba. Pero yung other than that, yung nakakamiss is yung playing for the school itself. Kasi iba talaga yung feeling if yung pag naglalaban ka with other schools and then ang nire-represent mo is yung sarili mong school, yun. Iba yung, basta iba talaga yung yung parang yung pride and yung inspiration mo kapag naglalaro ka for the school.
Now, how about you, Pam? Paano mo naman masasabi na galing UST ang isang volleyball player? What makes you guys unique?
What makes a golden tigress?
A golden tigress.
Siguro palaban.
Kindly expound.
Yeah, can you expound on
I like
that?
na may ganun talaga eh. Oh, pero kindly expound.
Mentor. No, I think it's just the word palaban. Like, most of us naman na galing UST, siguro kahit sa teams kami sa professional volleyball league na pupunta, siguro we will always try our best and laban lang ng laban kahit anong mangyari.
Ikaw, Jem, sa tingin mo, what makes, a golden tigress different from all the other volleyball players, especially in the PVL?
Yung siguro hindi sumusuko hanggang dulo. Yung hanggang kaya pang ipanalo yung game, ipapanalo at saka ilalaban pa din.
So in other words,
Tiger
palaban.
power. Apo.
Gaya.
Yun na yun.
Oo nga eh. No, actually, I want you to kind of expound on that. Kasi when you look at the history of the UST Golden Tigresses, there's so many names that we were mentioning kanina, like the ones in the PVL right now, yung mga senior nyo, that really inspired even you, yung mga generation nyo. Are there any other UST Golden Tigresses that inspired you growing up to become what you are right now sa PVL and hopefully more than that? Start with you first, Shanek. Yung mga, are there any ones that inspired you?
mga
Apart
idol
from
nyo.
yung mga idol nyo, especially yung nung high school pa kayo, looking up and then going to the UAP.
Na-mention mo po nung high school po, hindi ko po talaga alam yung UAAP. Nung naglaro na ako ng UAAP, dun ko na nalaman, ay ganito pala yung UAAP. So, feeling ko yung mga idols ko po talaga na nilook up ko kung bakit ako nagpursige din sa collegiate and hanggang ngayon is yung mga seniors ko po sa UST. Kasi naalala ko po noon nung high school is before kami mag-training, sila po muna. So nakikita ko din po yung training nila and then doon yung nag-spark yung ko po, hilig talaga na maglaro and to push further po for collegiate. And hanggang ngayon, naalala ko pa rin po yung ganong feel, yung the skin spark sa paglalaro. Ayun po.
Ayan. Ikaw naman, Jessie, sino yung mga idol mo growing up when you were still in high school?
So, yung idol ko is Ate Ging Balse talaga. Kasi, yun nga, I saw how she really played before, hindi lang sa skills-wise, but also yung heart niya sa game. Iba talaga. And also, nakalaro ko rin siya when she was our guest player in B.League. Tapos dun ko na-experience talaga yung kahit na anong nararamdaman niya, nagkaroon pa siya ng injury noon, pero tinuloy niya hanggang championship. So hindi ko na yun nakalimutan ever since. Yung parang yung feeling na kahit na anong nararamdaman mo, kahit anong sakit, lalaban ka talaga for your team. So yun talaga yun yung tumatak sa isip ko ever since, and mas naging inspired ako to play volleyball because of it.
Jem, during your time in the UAP, do you have any favorite game na tipong like you can lie down and then you'll remember that one game and happy ka?
Reminiscing ba?
Nung Beach Valley, kasi mas matagal ako naglaro sa Beach Valley kasi. Doon, syempre yun nung championship namin against sa FEU.
How about you,
Parang
Pa?
lahat.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, go ahead.
Ay, go na.
Hindi, okay lang ah. Okay
Go lang! Go!
Tuloy mo yan, tuloy mo yan. It's okay.
Okay na.
Gusto namin marinig yung follow-up.
Hindi, okay na.
Sorry, how about you, Pa? Please make your answer worth it kasi I feel bad about cutting her off.
Siguro, my last game sa UAAP during my 5th year. So, it was a very memorable one kasi parang doon na nagsisink in lahat ng hirap, lahat ng pagod, and parang it boils down to one game na oops, tapos na pala lahat ng yun. So parang, alam mo yun, nakaka-miss na, nakaka-proud din na na-survive mo lahat ng mga challenges.
Ladies, thank you very much for joining us. And there's a reason why I asked that last question. That's because in just a few days, we're going to have the chance. Actually, tomorrow, we're going to have the chance to watch some of the old games from the UAAP starting from the year 2000. Ladies, thank you very much for joining us, and we hope to have you again soon.
Thank you!
Thank you!
Thank you so much. I'm sure na miss natin lahat ang woo! Tiger moments! Sorry, Woo Tiger power! Wow, I did not do well with that. At iba pang UAAP moments. So, it's time to get in the game and relive the best games in UAAP history on the UAAP Varsity channel. Available in high definition on Signal TV, channel 263, starting September 8th. The UAAP Varsity channel is also available on satellite via streaming on Signal Play.
Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Billy Capistrano.
Catch us weeknights here on One News, One Sports, and One Sports Plus. Woo! Tiger Power! I'm Paulo de Rosario, and this has been The Game.